Gosh, that stuff was gruesome. Woo! That was gruesome. Ouch! Ouch.
I just came in from spending 60 minutes over at my little kidney bean shaped neighborhood pool. Do that as often as I can in the summer to give my mind a break from the coaching. But I spend some time with my nose in a book or listening to a podcast to continue to keep the point of the spear sharp. Call it my education hour. I think it's really important to stay up on the times, to not get antiquated in your thought process, and also to not get caught into the trap that you already know. As I approach the latter half of my life, kind of probably gone over that now, maybe 10 years ago, who knows, I don't know how many days I have. But the thing that I can tell you, that discovery that I've made as I've aged, is how little I really know about the universe and how everything works. And my brain is packed with a lot of stuff, mind you. But I know that there is ongoing technology change, research, new thought processes, and I think it's important to make yourself aware of those things so you can really try to continue the evolution of being better.
So yesterday I woke up with a pretty low HRV score, and my Garmin actually was telling me I needed 36 hours of recovery. And there was quite a bit that was in the training plan for Thursday, a high intensity bike ride with a brick run and lower conditioning. The thing is, you got to be objective about your training and not look at it from an emotional lens. If you've been using the training tools, they're pretty good predictors of what your body is able to manage. And it's important to set aside kind of the thought process that could cause you to make a decision that's going to be detrimental. I've endured enough injury and illness to know that I've got to trust that process of utilizing my tools instead of thinking about the goal, racing next week, and the things that are aligned with it, and keeping myself out of trouble. And that's maturity, I think, and experience. But I think you can figure that out faster than I did. Hope so. Really highly encourage you to get to know what kind of things that are available to you. If you don't have somebody overseeing your training, you're trying to do this by yourself. So, to list those things would be the smartwatch that you wear. Like, it gets to know you. It gets to know when your heart rates are not usual for the moment. It pays attention to your sleep cycle, a lot of them. You can use heart rate variability. There are loads and loads of apps and tools that you can find. And you should pay attention to your TSB score, otherwise known as form, in Training Peaks. It's the yellow number to the right, those 3 numbers that are listed at the top of your daily assignment. And that number reaches somewhere below -12, and it's a little different for everybody, but typically speaking, if you get down there into that -10th, 20th. I've even seen some people in the 30s trying to push the envelope and then wind up with something serious. But those are ways to govern the choices that you make and be less emotional. I promise you that missing one day of training is a far better decision than running yourself into illness or an injury that takes weeks to overcome.
Athletes, particularly endurance athletes, who have no confounding issues, no cardiovascular issues, but they're seeing some of these adaptations in their heart. What impact does that have, both positive and negative?
And we're trying to stick to performance now, but it's going to be tricky to not talk about health when it comes to performance, right?
Right. I mean, do these adaptations improve performance, or are they just...
So I think the easiest way to think about that is, there's sort of a couple of things that are worth mentioning there. I think the first thing is to focus on what you were getting at in terms of stroke volume, and I think the corollary is cardiac output. And so ultimately, cardiac output is your body's ability to fuel the working muscle. And so the heart rate for a given individual, more or less, depending on their age, their maximal heart rate, absent, there's ways we can give medicines that make it go down, but there's not much we can do to make someone's maximal heart rate go up. So cardiac output equals the heart rate times the stroke volume. And so the stroke volume part of that equation is the variable one. So that's the way to the stroke volume is the way that we can improve. By increasing stroke volume, you can increase your cardiac output.
This is the face of a girl who is sick of all this gray weather. Colorado is known for having 365 days of sunshine a year. This is weather that we might see for 2 to 3 weeks, the end of April, the beginning of May. It's not normal what's going on here. We're under a flood watch, like almost continuously. And it's difficult because I don't feel like I can go out and train safely today. The roads are going to be wet, and I woke up feeling like you do when you step off of a merry-go-round, which is, that brain is still sort of tilting in motion, and yet your body's still, and so you feel like this pulling sensation from one side to the other. Very strange sensation. Having a little bit of that this morning, so I have to ride my bike on the trainer again. And I knew instinctually I shouldn't go outside. Not my best training day. The first set I got through 10 of the 13 assigned, and then my legs quit. And so I fast forwarded into the recovery set. I did recover. So then I attempted the 20-minute endurance set. And about 10 minutes in to that 20 minutes, my heart rate started sliding upwards outside the range of zone 2. So I am now in cool down and having to be realistic about what my brain can manage today. So it was the right call to stay inside and approach the program with caution. Six days till the next big race for me. But I would say that of the races that are here hosted in Colorado, perennially, there's talent that shows up. It's a beautiful and fun course. I would say that the swim course has one of the best layouts that I've had the pleasure of getting to swim, whether locally or nationally. Pretty hard to beat Bermuda and Lake Geneva in Switzerland on that front. But anyway, it's a great bike course, one of my favorites. And the run at this course is oddly flat, which you don't get in Colorado. So it makes for a fast run. There's a lot of talent that shows up to this race, and so that's ultra fun. And then maybe the pinnacle, the thing that makes it even more amazing, the breakfast. Anyway, I've loved this race. I'm being intentional about my approach for this race. I have some goals in my mind. And while I'm not quite 100% now, I would say 95% is where I'm at. I'm still vastly better than I was even 2 years ago. So I'm excited about this race. I'm putting a lot of effort in. I put a lot of effort in the training between the gravel race I did in May and this one with a lot of thought. You gotta be mindful about your approaches. You gotta be mindful about what you're gonna try to accomplish. But you also need to make some goals that are fair to self. We have a blue sky today. Yes, God. Thank you. This is fun. I've never seen that water ever. That really high in all my years here. That's fun. Oh. The conundrum. Train like what was in the plan today, which is about 75 minutes. Hard run today. Or do I look at the data that tells me in my training peaks that I'm really fatigued? I didn't sleep well. My resting heart rate is substantially lower this morning than it's normal. So do I trust those things and move the taper training to tomorrow? Or do I try to train through today and rest tomorrow? That's the artistic side of coaching. That's the using a judgment call, getting to know the person side of coaching. It's the last nice day. I think I said this already, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're supposed to have rain, and today's the last nice day. So, priorities, paying attention to the stuff in your calendar, but also paying attention to the signals that maybe you've got to modify.
Goodbye fear, goodbye guilt, goodbye shame. Goodbye pain, goodbye grief, it's a new horizon. It's a new horizon. Goodbye fear, goodbye guilt, goodbye shame. Goodbye pain, goodbye grief, it's a new horizon. Goodbye fear, goodbye guilt, goodbye shame. Goodbye pain, goodbye grief, it's a new horizon. Hey, goodbye fear, goodbye guilt, goodbye shame. Goodbye pain, goodbye grief, it's a new horizon. Goodbye fear, goodbye guilt, goodbye shame. You can start here. Goodbye pain, goodbye grief, it's a new horizon. It's a new horizon. It's a new horizon.
What will be, will be.
Let the light in, let the light
Done my part.